Well, hello everyone. It's Doris here, otherwise known as Knittynina, and welcome to another episode of the Knittynina Diaries. Super excited to be back here with you today to show you some of my finished objects in what is the month of August. If you're a new viewer stopping by, a very warm welcome. You've just reached a channel that focuses on all about my love for the fiber arts. You're going to see lots of knitting. You're going to see some crocheting, quilting, embroidering. So if that is your cup of tea, I would love for you to stick around and hopefully enjoy this content and subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer, a very, very warm welcome as well. So happy to have you back here. As always, I love to read your comments. So start chatting away there and let me know what you've been up to here in the summer. Is it hot in your neck of the woods? Obviously, I'm in the East Coast in the USA, and it has been warm and humid. And today it is pouring out there and thunderstorms, so I don't have much light. So hopefully using some artificial light will hopefully kind of bring out the colors better in the camera. As always, everything I speak about today will be linked below on the description box, so make sure to check that out if you want to dive in deeper into any of the yarns or notes that I've discussed. So why don't we go ahead and just dive in. Grab your favorite cup of tea. I have a nice cup of warm tea, or your favorite beverage with your favorite project, and let's dive in. So in the last episode, I was working on a sweater, and I popped a picture of it right here on the screen. It was the Springfling by the Petite knitter, and the yarn I used was Green Mountain Spinnery Cotton Comfort. So let me show you that right there. And I got this yarn at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. It is a combination of, it's a 2-ply DK weight, 20% organic cotton and 80% fine wool. All fibers grown in the USA. It's 180 yards or 165 meters. And you can check out their yarn at Spinnery.com. It's the yarn that I used, well, the company, it was another variation yarn I used for the diamond shawl, if you remember that episode. I'll link that down below, which was one of the patterns that I released. I used their yarn, And I saw this yarn and I thought it would be perfect for something like late summer because it is a little, although it does have cotton, it's a little too hot to wear under the current climate weather. But they're out of Putney, Vermont, and I use, let me show you this. This is the color. I have like 3 or 4 skeins still left, so I think I got too many skeins. But I have like 3 or 4 left of these, and this is Peony 9820. And look at those speckles with white right here. It is so pretty. This is really coming out in the camera. So I used Peony, and then the other color I used was the unbleached white, color 1019. And that is this color right here. So I'm happy to say that I finished it. I used a US 5 needle, and why don't I go ahead and try it on. Lily's actually lying on it. I put it on a chair, and she just decided to take a nap, hence you haven't seen her meowing. Usually it likes to make her entrance. But let me put a pause, and then I'll put it on, okay? So here it is in all its glory. I did decide to do it short sleeve. It has some color work, as you can see, all here and through the back. And then I did it kind of short length. I don't know if you can see it, but this is it. I really enjoyed making this. Just the colors of the kind of the springy feel, summery. I really enjoyed it. Couple of notes that I'm looking at it as I tried it. Oh, my quilt fell. Excuse me. This is that quilt I made a while ago. I think I did this on episode 1 or 2. It's like a patchwork in the back. It was my first time free motion quilting and my first time quilt. So I thought that turned out really nice. It's very pinky and happy and all good stuff. Anyway, going back to the sweater. The neck is like too wide. See how it's like too much of an elbow. I would have liked that maybe a little tighter here. And I believe it did have short rows, but I think it's too wide here. Maybe that's how I blocked it. Hold on, as I'm pulling up my bra straps. But yeah, I think it turned out nice. I mean, the yarn is just gorgeous. The yarn is just gorgeous. The increases happened here, which leads me to believe that I could have started at a smaller size and then started doing the increases maybe a little lower here. Not sure. Maybe give it a little more length. But let me show you I did a 2x2 rib on the sleeves, and then I did a 2x2 rib on the hem. But it is, I think, really, really pretty. I enjoyed it very much. And again, I think it's something I'm going to use for sure. More likely after August, because right now it's still too humid. But again, the fact that I did it short sleeve, and I did do a little short crop, because I know I was talking about, should I do lower length, should I do long sleeve? So I ended up going with short sleeve and short and cropped, which I think is going to look really cute with a dress. I'm wearing it with some linen striped pants in the color ivory. So I think it looks really kind of summery and happy and So that is that. So I finally finished it. I'm super excited. So yay for me, right? I'm giving myself my own pat in the back. Yeah, I mean, again, loving the color work. I didn't change needle size to do the color work. I did the whole thing on US 5. I can show you some of those floats right here so you can see them. And yeah, I talk a little bit more about it in the last episode, so if you want to take a look at that, definitely I'll link it down below. And the next project I wanted to share with you is not a knitting project. It is actually a project that I started, I would say maybe, I'm not completely finished with it. It's something I dabbled in maybe 3 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago. And I wanted to learn how to do EPP, English paper piecing. So obviously YouTube University is the best out there. Looked up some channels and kind of learned how to make them. And they were 1 inch. And I did them on paper templates, and mainly it's all Liberty fabric with the exception of the center and some pieces. So I just started dabbling away. And I'm happy to report that I have completed a total of 100 of these. So the goal is to make a quilt with them. And I kind of paired them with the same center. So I have a variety of different main block, like the main circle here, hexagon I should say. This one, obviously, these are all like a green polka dot. But you can see them, and they're all obviously pieced by hand. And I'm just loving them. I absolutely think they came out really nice. They're like little fans. Let me show you the back. See all the paper? So these are the green ones. Let me show you. I have them in this Namaste large mesh bag. I don't want to stand it up because they're all going to fall, but I have them all here lying down by color. So these are like the little, with the torque, kind of like the mint center with polka dots. You can see that one. I think that one turned out really pretty. So yeah, it was truly a labor of love because you have to cut the fabric. You obviously get this paper template, and then I did the stick glue and flipped it over, and then you start hand stitching this end to this, and then you fold it this end to this, then this end to that, and this end to that, and so forth until you're complete. So a lot of stitching. I think I had maybe 80. And then in the last month, I did an additional 25. I have a lot of these here that don't have a specific center. Like the other ones, you'll see all polka dots. These are just a variation. I don't think I'm going to use this because I'm going more for a pastel-y, but these are going to be scattered around. Around the quilt. I think that one is really pretty. This one I really like. Has a more of a red. Yeah, I think they were a joy. Just like that slow slow stitching really brings, you know, a kind of a relaxation mode, and once you start getting the hang of it, I think it's really pretty there. I did a little bit of fussy cutting to make sure I got those flowers there on that Liberty of fabric. Then I stopped, right, because there were so many I had to get done. And I figured, you know, 100 would be a good number, so I would do 10 across, 10 by 10, and plus a border. So those are those, and then let me show you. These are with a beige polka dots. Oh, I think this one's really pretty. I really like that one. And then let me show you the pink. The pink is really pretty too. These are with the pink. I won't go through all of them, but just to give you an idea. And again, it's been a labor of love. I mean, I've been working on this for the last 2 years, and I just decided, you know, I had all the pieces cut, and then when I had some time, I would just sit down and do all the gluing and putting the paper backing. Now, when I started doing these, I had not learned about Ashme Designs, which is the background that you could leave in, and it gives it a little bit of cushion, which I have purchased since then. And then I'm going to do some smaller pieces with that, some smaller hexagons, maybe to put it on a knitting bag, on the outskirt, like embroider it, applique it. So when I started doing this, I did this with the paper, which I'll tell you some of the pluses and minuses in a moment. Here's the blue, little powder, kind of like a little happy blue background. This one's really pretty, I think. And I love that one a lot. And then the final center that I changed on a set of these hexagons, I did a checkered lavender. So I am going to kind of create a graph and kind of see where I position all of them. The thing I had been working, now that I have the 100 pieces completed, is to think of how I'm going to make the quilt. My original thought process was that I was going to attach, kind of do the garden flower, the grandmother flower quilt. Forgive me if I'm not saying that correctly. And put like a bunch of white hexagons, unite it, and then do something larger. But just, quite frankly, all the hand piecing I've done, my wrist is starting to hurt me a little bit, so I think I'm done hand piecing in terms of doing the piecing aspect of it. So I started thinking, well, what else could I do? And I decided to go with hand appliquing them to a background. So I was going to go with white, but then I found some blue fabric that I had, and I figured I could put it against the blue, or maybe, I actually love them. It feels like cards. They feel like little sets of cards, and when you organize them, they all center and follow into their hexagon. It's rather comforting. See, now they're all back to being organized. So I was saying that, I was like, I'm gonna do maybe a blue background, and maybe I can do like a square with blue and a square with a white background and kind of alternate. So I don't know. I had some blue fabric that I love, and I started cutting that away, and I cut the blocks to 9.5 inches. So the final block would be 9 inches. So that is so far what I'm doing, with a 1/4 seam around. And then when I cut the blocks, I think I have a total of 35 or 45, 35 maybe. So I might need to get more blue fabric, but the problem is I can't remember where I got the blue fabric. And I kind of looked at the selvage. You know how when you cut off the selvage, there sometimes says the name of the company, but it didn't say it. So I don't know. I might have to combine it, because to match this blue is going to be a little difficult. But let me show you what I did. So this is the block. This is the blue. I'm showing you the back. But this is the blue. I thought looked really pretty. In the camera, it's a much lighter blue than this. I think that might look better. There you go. It was blowing up there a little bit. And then this is a 9.5. And then what I did is put the hexagon right there in the middle. And what you do is I cut all of these, and then I folded them in 4, creased it. I actually ironed it, doubled it like that, and then doubled it like that to get a mark in the fabric, as you can see, right here and right here. And that allows me to help myself kind of pin it into position, keeping this horizontal line here as my benchmark with this line, and this one with this line. And then kind of eye it on the top and the bottom, and then I pin it into place. So that's what I did. I did maybe 10 of those or 9 of those that I kind of already positioned. And out of those 9, I believe I've done 6 already. So let me show you that. So I finally pieced it. This one looks a little actually crooked. Now keep in mind, this is my first time hand appliquing. And I'll include a video. I mean, my angles aren't the best when I'm doing video, because I don't have all the equipment to put it like on the top, because I'm filming with a camera, not with my iPhone. Here's another one. But you can barely, I mean, see that applique. Let me see if I can put it. So that's been really fun. And you can literally, you can't even see it. And then the back, you can see the stitching in the back. Little small stitches. What I was saying earlier about the paper is you remove the paper of all of these, and obviously the ones in the outside, this starts popping out. So you kind of have to fold it again and then press the whole hexagon flower, nicely pressed, so you have all of these back into that folded mode. So that was a challenge. Like moving forward, I think I should have used that Ashmead design background, which is, again, it's the template is made out of a material that you can actually leave in the quilt, and it's not paper, and so you don't have to go through that whole process of removing each one of them. So that was a little bit of a tedious project. The other thing is when you're doing English paper piecing, you'll notice that a lot of tutorials out there tell you that when you fold, don't put too much glue on the top portion, because when you're stitching them together, number one, you might stitch into the paper and stitch the paper with the fabric, and then sometimes removing it can get a little difficult, and I did see that happening to me in some shape or form. The good news is that it's easily fixed, right? If you pull the paper and it breaks, well, you just trash it, right? I'm trying to salvage some of them if I ever want to use them again. But the other aspect is that I can easily just fold the material back down because it has that memory of all the creases, and then just iron it nice and flat. So that's another one I made. Finished that one. That's 2, 3, and then this is the last one that I did show you that. Forgive me. I'm kind of going backwards here. I did show you that one. Let me show you this one. So that's 1, 2, and then this one. I think this one turned out pretty. So when you put the block, and when I'm going to sew them together, I've seen people sew their blocks where they have this corner here is like the front of the block and straight as it is. I'm gonna put these, I don't know, what do you think? Like this, or should I sew them like this, where the top of the block is this top section? That or that? So for the most part, I've seen a lot of the English paper piecing appliques with the solid top of the hexagon as the top of the block. So I don't know. I wanted to hear your opinion. What do you think? Because I want to keep it consistent across. And then the other thing I'm thinking is to put some cornerstones here, some triangles to give it another color. That turned out really nice here. And then I'm going to be embroidering or hand quilting here on the side, maybe with a pink. So obviously there is a lot of work. This is certainly a work in progress. Just take my time. I wanted it to be a family heirloom, you know, something that just says, wow, all that hand stitching. But I think they're turning out really pretty. I think it looks really nice on this powder blue. Again, that my challenge now is that I might not have enough blue. So do I do like a powder blue with a white background and then alternate them? Maybe that would look pretty, kind of different. And then I might put some sashing here in the middle. So I'm still looking at patterns to see if there's something out there who give me measurements on what to do. But if you've ever made one of these, or know of somebody that's made them and you can give me any tips, let me know. Let me know. And if you're interested, I'm going to pop in some video like of me hand stitching them when I was piecing them together as a single unit. And then I think I have some video of me appliquing them back to the background. Granted, these are not tutorials by any means because the angle's not really the best. And again, I don't have all the equipment to do a nice tutorial. But if it were something that you'd be interested to see, like how I create these paper piecing, let me know in the comments below and maybe I can put something together. So you can take a look at it and then show you some of my favorite tools as well. That might be something fun to do for all of you. So yeah, so that is that. So those are the two main projects that I wanted to show you. Again, my Springfling finished sweater And my recent milestone of finishing 100 of these single units, hexagon flowers, and now I'm on the task of appliquing them. And so here we go on another journey. I'm right now focusing also on thinking of what I'm going to make next. So as always, you all know me, after I make a sweater, I do a little of what I call my palette cleanser, and I love going back to making socks. So I'm going to maybe make a couple of pair of socks, so we'll have those ready on the next episode. And I'm also starting to think, hey, what other sweater do I want to start casting on? So look forward to the next episode, because I'll show you some of the yarn that I'm already thinking for that project, something that I bought at Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. So look forward to seeing that on the next episode. And as always, please, please, please leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. What's on your needles? What are you working on? How's the weather in your neck of the woods? And love to read your comments again and continue to interact. So if you've enjoyed this video and like this content, please, if you like to support the channel, I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, a little love, and make sure you subscribe, because all of those things help the algorithm in YouTube to get this video and content out to more people. So love to grow this little community of ours here, and I hope you're doing well. And again, till our next meetup, happy making all. See you very soon. Ciao everyone. Bye. Happy making.